close your eyes and let your breath soften. Tonight, we journey into quiet realms where ancient wisdom whispers through the wind, where divine women of old guide us softly with their timeless teachings. Let us drift together through sacred spaces of forgotten temples, flowing rivers, and starlit deserts. Soft light illuminates the stories of women whose spirits were honored, whose rituals carried the wisdom of life, love, and the unseen. Their teachings are gentle melodies, meant to calm your heart and lull your mind into rest. As we move slowly through these sacred tales, feel the world outside dissolve. Let the rhythm of their stories carry you into a deep, peaceful sleep, wrapped in the warmth of spiritual grace. If these stories calm your heart, subscribe to join us on every journey into sleep. Share in the comments where you are listening from tonight, so the world may feel a little smaller and softer. We drift into the quiet night where a priestess walks beneath the silver moon, her whispers echoing in stone temples. Her rituals teach the harmony of the heart and the gentle balance of giving and receiving. Softly, the night stretches its dark velvet across the land. Stars shimmer faintly, scattered like gentle sparks of memory, and the moon casts a pale silver light across the quiet temples of an ancient village. You float just above the earth, carried by a gentle breeze that carries the scent of jasmine and cool river stones. The world feels still, as if listening to a deep, unspoken song. In this hush, a figure moves slowly through the temple courtyard. She is the Moonlit Priestess. Her robes are soft and pale, drifting around her like water over smooth rocks. Each step she takes is quiet, careful, as if she does not wish to disturb the night's own breathing. Candlelight flickers along the stone walls, tiny flames that dance like quiet thoughts, casting long, soft shadows that bend toward the earth. The priestess pauses at the center of the courtyard. Her hands lift slowly, palms open, tracing invisible patterns in the cool night air. The soft rhythm of her movements is like the gentle sway of reeds in a quiet river. She whispers prayers that sound more like a sigh than words, each one curling into the night sky and melting into the silver light of the moon. You can feel her presence without needing to see her fully, as if her calm has already reached inside you, resting softly on your chest. Around her, the temple seems to breathe. Stone columns hum with quiet resonance, as though the walls themselves remember her devotion. Her rituals are simple but full of grace. She moves a small bowl of water across the temple stones, letting droplets fall slowly, each one a tiny echo of the river that runs near the village. She traces her fingers along the edges of carved symbols older than memory. Gentle lines that speak of balance, of harmony, of hearts that give and hearts that receive. The moon above glows brighter for a moment, spilling light onto her hair. Each strand seems to shimmer with quiet energy, a reflection of the serenity she carries. A soft wind brushes your skin as she turns, her robes whispering against the ground. You drift closer, carried not by curiosity, but by a deep, gentle invitation. There is no hurry here, only the slow unfolding of ritual. A quiet path traced by careful hands. She begins to walk toward the inner temple, her steps measured and unhurried. The courtyard seems to stretch endlessly around her, filled with silver light and shadows that bend and sway like water. Tiny lanterns float at the edges, their soft glow mingling with the moon. The air carries a faint scent of incense, sweet and grounding, curling into your lungs and resting there like a warm memory. You feel the world quiet beneath this scent, your thoughts slowing to match her pace. Inside the temple, the priestess kneels on a soft mat of woven reeds. She lifts a small bell, its metal smooth and cool under her fingers. When she lets it ring, the sound drifts slowly upward, filling the space with a tone that seems almost alive. It is neither loud nor urgent, simply a sound that lingers in the air, touching the edges of your mind and smoothing them like water flowing over worn stones. Her hands move to a bowl of flowers. Petals are soft and pale, like whispers pressed against the world. She arranges them with care, each one a tiny offering, each movement a gentle expression of balance. The ritual is quiet, unhurried, a series of small gestures that speak of listening, of giving, of being present. You notice your breathing slow, softening with each movement, as if her calm is threading itself into the very air around you. Outside, the night holds still. The river murmurs faintly, carrying her whispers into the distant hills. Owls call softly from hidden trees, and the leaves tremble in the gentle wind. Her presence seems to harmonize the world, softening hard edges, filling empty spaces with quiet understanding. You float in this calm, knowing that you are safe, held by the rhythm of her care. She lifts a small bowl of water, letting it flow over her hands. The liquid glimmers in the moonlight, sparkling softly as it falls. You feel the coolness in your own mind, as though each droplet washes away tension and worry. Her chant is like the river itself, moving slowly, bending gently around stones and roots, carrying all that is heavy into quietness. For a long while, the priestess sits in silence. Her eyes are closed, her posture serene. The temple hums softly around her. Tiny motes of dust float in the silver light, drifting lazily as if they too are lulled by her presence. You feel yourself sink deeper into this quiet, your body light, your mind soft, the tension of the day dissolving into the still air. Then, with the gentlest of movements, she rises again. Her hands trace the air as though she is drawing invisible lines of calm around the temple. The soft rustle of her robes blends with the distant call of night birds and the whisper of leaves. Every sound is small, measured, comforting. You feel the world soften, letting go of sharp edges and heavy thoughts. She steps into the moonlight once more. The silver glow drapes over her like a gentle veil. In this light, she seems both present and ethereal, a bridge between the quiet earth and the vast sky above. Her voice rises again in a soft, flowing chant. You do not need to understand the words. They are not meant to be learned. They are meant to be felt, carried into your mind like a gentle tide, smoothing and shaping the thoughts until they rest, calm and still. The priestess moves slowly through the temple corridors, her fingers brushing along carved walls, tracing symbols that hold stories older than time. Each symbol is a reminder of balance, of connection, of the rhythm of giving and receiving. You feel this rhythm within yourself, like a pulse growing soft and steady, quieting the mind and letting the body sink deeper into rest. Outside, the night deepens. The stars shimmer more faintly now, like soft sighs from distant worlds. The river flows quietly, carrying silver reflections of moonlight across its surface. The temple itself seems to breathe, expanding and contracting in slow harmony. You float gently with the rhythm, letting the calm move through your chest, your arms, your legs, your mind, until every part of you is soft and still. The priestess kneels again, placing her hands gently over her heart. Her whisper drifts through the air, a soft prayer for harmony, for balance, for peace. You feel the warmth of that prayer touch your own heart, settling there like a feather on calm water. All is quiet, all is gentle. The night holds you tenderly. Finally she stands, her movements slow, deliberate, filled with care. She steps toward the outer courtyard once more, where the moonlight shines fullest. You drift alongside her, moving without effort, your mind empty of worry, your body light with rest. Every breath feels soft, each one a small wave washing over you, carrying you deeper into stillness. The priestess lifts her arms to the sky, palms open. The moon seems to respond, spilling light like gentle silk across her face and the temple stones. You feel yourself wrapped in the same silver glow, your thoughts smoothing into quiet pools of calm. The world narrows to this peaceful circle of light and presence, and you allow yourself to simply be, soft and weightless, carried by the rhythm of ritual and moonlight. Her whispers grow quieter, fading like a gentle tide retreating. The temple holds their echo, and the river, the trees, the stars, all seem to murmur in quiet response. You drift in this harmony, feeling the balance of giving and receiving, of motion and stillness, of the gentle flow of life itself. Let us drift onward, soft as the night wind, toward a deeper quiet. Let the silver moonlight linger on your skin. Let the rhythm of calm, traced by the moonlit priestess, carry you gently into sleep. Every thought softens, every breath becomes lighter. The world outside falls away, and only the gentle, sacred presence remains, holding you as the stars return to their endless, silent watch. And now, you rest. Soft winds carry us to a temple where women veil themselves in light. Here we explore how divine presence moves through gestures, song and quiet devotion, guiding souls with invisible hands. Night drifts softly over the land, wrapping hills and rivers in a cloak of gentle shadow. The air is cool, carrying faint whispers of petals and stone, of incense and distant rain. Stars appear, delicate and still, scattered across the sky like quiet sparks of remembrance. You float in this calm, carried by the soft rhythm of the wind, moving slowly toward a temple bathed in pale golden light. The temple stands alone on a gentle rise, its walls smooth and white beneath the glow of the moon. Shadows bend softly along the carved stone, tracing the curves of arches and columns that have stood for centuries. A quiet hush surrounds it, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the faint hum of evening insects. The doors of the temple seem to open before you without sound, inviting you into a space where time itself feels slower, gentler, and more kind. Inside, the air is filled with a soft warmth. Candles line the walls, their flames small but steady, flickering like tiny hearts. The scent of sandalwood curls through the temple, mingling with the faint sweetness of jasmine blossoms resting in shallow bowls. You drift further in, feeling the hush of reverence, the soft pulse of unseen devotion. At the center of the temple, women move in quiet patterns, each wrapped in veils that seem to shimmer with light. The veils float around them like water or mist, soft and weightless, catching the glow of the candles. Their movements are slow and deliberate, each gesture an offering, each sway a silent prayer. You feel the rhythm of their devotion reach through the quiet air, touching the edges of your mind and softening your thoughts. A small bell rings somewhere, clear and light, echoing faintly against the high-arched ceiling. One woman lifts her hands, fingers tracing delicate arcs in the air. The veil around her seems to follow, moving like a wave of pale light. Her movements are simple, but they carry an invisible weight, a sense of grace that is both quiet and profound. You notice your breathing slowing, softening with the rhythm of her gestures, your chest rising and falling in gentle sync with the calm energy surrounding you. She steps forward, and a soft chant rises in the air. It is low, almost a hum, like the wind over smooth stones. The sound is not urgent, not demanding. It is a gentle current, moving around the temple, brushing softly against every corner. Each note seems to lift the quiet deeper until your thoughts feel like petals floating on a still pond. You drift in the sound, letting it carry the weight of the day away, leaving your mind empty, soft, and open. Other women join in, their veils brushing the floor like soft streams of light. Their voices blend in harmony, not loud, not insistent, but steady and calm, like the flow of a river through shaded valleys. Their gestures are mirrored, yet each is unique, and you notice how the patterns of movement weave invisible lines of light across the temple floor. Each line, each sway, each gentle wave of the veil seems to guide the spirit, as if unseen hands are drawing paths through the quiet night. A single candle flickers near the altar. Its flame dances slowly, reflecting off the veils in soft waves of gold and silver. You feel yourself drawn into the movement, as if the flicker is a heartbeat you can feel in your chest. The women do not hurry. They do not pause in alarm. Every step, every motion is measured with care, as though the world itself has slowed to match their gentle rhythm. The veils float upward for a moment, catching the light like the wings of invisible birds. You notice how the women tilt their heads, eyes half closed, tracing paths only they can see. Their hands trace invisible symbols in the air, offering small prayers to the unseen. You do not need to understand the meaning. It is enough to feel the calm that flows from their devotion, the invisible currents of peace that spread quietly through the temple. Soft wind drifts through open windows, carrying with it the scent of night flowers and the faint chill of the hills beyond. The women's movements follow the air, their veils fluttering gently, responding to the touch of the wind. It feels as though the temple itself breathes in harmony with them, its walls and pillars alive with soft echoes of devotion, its floors warmed by centuries of careful, quiet practice. One woman kneels at the altar. She lays a bowl of water before her, letting the liquid catch the candlelight. The surface glimmers, reflecting the veils that float above, the gentle sway of hands, and the soft glow of the moon through the windows. You drift closer, carried by the quiet, and notice how the reflections ripple slowly, like memories moving through calm water. You feel your mind follow these ripples, each one softening thoughts, smoothing the edges of worry, until your mind is as still as the water itself. The chant continues, flowing softly, wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Each note feels like a small pulse of light, moving through your body and resting gently in your heart. The women's gestures guide you without words, showing the quiet power of presence, the way gentle attention can shape the spirit like water shaping smooth stones. You feel a sense of balance, a gentle equilibrium, as if the rhythm of the temple itself is teaching your heart to rest. A breeze carries the faint sound of distant drums, not loud, not commanding, but soft and steady, like a heartbeat in the far distance. The women's veils respond subtly, lifting and falling in harmony with the rhythm. It feels as though the universe itself is joining in this quiet ceremony, the stars outside shimmering a little brighter in response to their devotion. You feel a sense of being cradled, held gently between the motions of the women, the sway of the veils, the flicker of candlelight, and the soft pulse of the night. Time seems to slow further. You notice how even the shadows are calm, stretching slowly across the walls, bending like soft fingers of light. Each movement, each whisper, each flutter of the veil is a small lesson in stillness. You feel yourself learning without trying, absorbing the rhythm of gentle devotion, feeling it rest softly in your own chest, spreading outward to your arms, your legs, your mind. The women begin to move in a circle, veils brushing against one another in soft, weightless arcs. Their voices rise and fall in harmony, the rhythm of the chant matching the rise and fall of your own breath. You drift with them, carried on a quiet wave of devotion and light. There is nothing urgent here, no need to act, only the soft presence of ritual and grace, moving slowly through the temple, through the night, through you. She steps toward the central flame again, her hands lifting in a gentle arc. The veils rise with her motion, catching candlelight and scattering it across the temple floor. The light is soft, warm and golden, spilling over the stone and into the air. You feel the glow touching your spirit, a small warmth that spreads slowly through every part of you. The sound of the chant fades gently, but the feeling remains, a soft tide of peace and calm. Finally, the women settle in quiet positions, their veils resting softly on the floors and shoulders. Candlelight flickers on their still forms, and the temple hums in the silence that follows. You feel the gentle weight of presence and devotion, resting in the air, wrapping softly around your mind. Every breath feels slower, softer, and deeper. Every muscle unwinds, every thought quiets, and you feel held by the rhythm of light and ritual. Let us drift onward, carried by veils of sacred light. Let the rhythm of gentle devotion guide your heart to quiet rest. The stars outside shimmer softly, the night air holds a tender hush, and the temple itself seems to breathe with you. You are safe, soft, and calm, cradled by invisible hands in quiet prayers. Now rest as the light and devotion linger around you, letting your spirit sink deeper into peace. The veils of sacred light remain, soft and shimmering, guiding you into the calm, slow, and gentle sleep that waits quietly, patiently, and tenderly. Flowing water tells ancient stories, where women of sacred cults lead initiates through rivers of reflection. In this chapter, the spirit learns patience, letting currents of thought settle into gentle clarity. Night rests softly over the world, draping hills and valleys in a quiet, gentle darkness. The stars hang low and still, shimmering faintly, like tiny lanterns floating in the sky. You drift through this calm, carried by a soft breeze that brushes lightly across the trees, rustling leaves in a quiet symphony. Somewhere in the distance, a river murmurs, its waters moving slowly, softly, as if sharing secrets only the night can hold. The river appears before you, winding through a grove of ancient trees. Moonlight glimmers across its surface, creating paths of silver that ripple gently with the flow. The air carries the faint scent of water lilies and wet stones. You float closer, your feet brushing nothing, your body light, your mind softening with each step. There is a hush here, a pause in the world, a space made for reflection and stillness. Along the riverbank, women stand quietly. Their presence is calm, serene, like reflections on the water itself. Their robes are soft and flowing, echoing the movement of the river, and in their hands they hold small offerings of flowers, shells, and smooth river stones. These are symbols of thought, of memory, of moments carried gently from one place to another. You feel drawn to them, not by curiosity, but by a quiet invitation to join the flow. One woman steps forward, her bare feet touching the water with no sound. She lifts her hands, letting a small stream of water slip through her fingers, watching it drift downstream. The movement is slow, deliberate, and graceful. You notice how she traces invisible patterns in the air, her gestures weaving paths that mirror the currents of the river. You feel your own thoughts moving with her motions, softening, settling, flowing gently toward quiet clarity. The river hums with a sound almost like breathing, low and steady, carrying the weight of ages. In its flow, you hear stories of devotion, of patience, of quiet courage. The women speak no words, yet their presence teaches in ways that are deeper than language. Each step, each ripple, each breath of wind through the trees seems to carry a lesson. That stillness can be a gift. That reflection can be a river, and that patience is the gentle current of life. You drift beside the water, noticing the way light bends across its surface. Tiny ripples shimmer like starlight caught in a gentle wave. The women guide small boats, shallow and delicate, across the river. Each boat carries a symbol, a flower, a feather, a shell. They set the boats on the current with care, letting them float downstream. You watch them drift, feeling your own mind become as still and clear as the river's mirrored surface. A soft chant begins, rising like mist over the water. It is slow, melodic, curling around the trees, around the stones, around the river itself. The words are gentle, almost unnoticeable, yet you feel their rhythm in your chest, like a heartbeat tuned to the pulse of the night. The chant moves with the flow, and you drift with it, carried on currents of sound and light, your body weightless, your thoughts dissolving softly into calm. The women guide initiates along the riverbanks, moving slowly through shallow waters. Hands trace the edges of stones and lilies, eyes follow the slow motion of floating petals. Every gesture is deliberate, every movement a lesson in attention, in presence, in quiet devotion. You feel yourself learning without thinking, your mind softening, your breathing slowing, your heart settling into a gentle rhythm. One initiator kneels at the water's edge. She dips her hands into the cool river, letting droplets flow down and ripple outward. The water carries away her thoughts, her worries, her small burdens. You watch as the ripples merge with the larger flow, spreading softly and merging seamlessly with the river's gentle movement. You feel yourself following the same path, letting your own thoughts drift, settling like stones into the calm depths beneath. The moon rises higher, casting silver threads across the water. The veils of mist above the river swirl with the light, wrapping the women and initiates in quiet halos. Their movements echo the natural rhythm of the river, rise and fall, flow and pause, gentle touch and soft release. The world feels fluid here, every edge softened, every sound and shadow carrying calm rather than disturbance. You float within this gentle current, knowing you are safe, knowing you are held. A small waterfall cascades ahead, the water tumbling over smooth stones in a gentle hush. The women guide the initiates to this place, showing them how to follow the path of water without forcing it, how to move with patience rather than struggle against it. You feel the lesson in your own body, in the gentle weight of your arms, the softness of your breath, the slow unfolding of your mind. All tension dissolves into the river's flow. The women begin to chant again, their voices blending with the river's soft murmur. The notes rise and fall like gentle waves, carrying with them the sense of ancient knowledge, the quiet power of devotion, and the simple, profound patience of water moving through the world. You feel the sound wrap around you like a blanket, warming and softening, drawing the mind ever deeper into stillness. Petals float on the surface of the river, drifting silently, carried by currents invisible to the eye. The women trace paths with their hands, guiding them gently, teaching the initiates how to observe without clinging, how to move without haste. You feel yourself learning this rhythm, letting your thoughts float freely, noticing them without judgment, letting them settle naturally, quietly, like leaves falling to a calm pond. The river curves around a grove of ancient trees. Their roots dip into the water, creating small eddies that shimmer in moonlight. The women move slowly through these eddies, showing how the river's flow adapts around obstacles, teaching patience and acceptance without words. You feel the same lesson flowing through your body, a soft understanding that life, like the river, moves gently when we allow it to. The night deepens further. Stars glitter faintly, mirrored in the smooth water. The women gather near a quiet bend in the river, forming a circle with the initiates. Hands are lifted, palms open as if catching light from the stars above. A single bell rings, its tone clear and soft, reverberating across the river and into the trees. You feel the sound as a vibration in your chest, a calm current moving through you, untangling tension, guiding your spirit toward rest. The water flows onward, carrying petals, reflections, and whispered chants into the deeper night. You drift beside it, weightless, mind empty, carried gently along its path. Every ripple, every shimmer of moonlight, every soft sway of the women's hands reminds you of quiet patience, of the beauty of gentle flow, of the calm that comes when thoughts are allowed to settle naturally. At last, the river widens into a quiet pool. The women kneel at its edge, letting their hands rest in the water, and the initiates mirror them, tracing soft arcs across the surface. The light of the moon spreads fully across the pool, silver and still. You float above it, feeling the calm settle into every part of your being. The river has carried away the weight of the day, the noise of thoughts, the pull of worry. Only stillness remains. Let us drift onward, carried by the gentle current of hidden dreams. Let the soft flow of water guide the mind to stillness, and let the rhythm of the night settle into your chest and your heart. The river, the veils of moonlight, the gentle chant of devotion. They remain around you, holding you safely, soft and quiet. Now rest as the river flows endlessly into calm. The stars return to their watch. The night breathes in quiet harmony, and your spirit lies gently in the embrace of flowing water, of patient hearts, and of sacred, hidden dreams. Under vast night skies, temples rise like quiet giants. Divine women here teach the connection between cosmos and soul, whispering of the cycles of time and the stars that cradle our dreams. The night sky stretches wide and endless, a deep blanket of navy and silver scattered with countless points of light. Stars shimmer softly, steady and patient, like distant lanterns guiding unseen paths. You float gently through this quiet space, carried by a breeze that is both warm and cool, brushing softly over your skin, moving through your hair, and settling around your shoulders like a gentle shawl. Below, temples rise silently from the earth. Their stones are smooth, worn by centuries, standing tall yet humble beneath the vastness of the heavens. Each temple is bathed in soft moonlight, pale silver spilling across arches and columns. Shadows stretch long and slow, bending to the contours of carved walls that tell silent stories of devotion, patience, and light. You drift closer, feeling the calm weight of history and the still presence of reverence. At the steps of one temple, women stand quietly, their robes catching the moonlight like soft streams of starlight. They move with calm certainty, their hands tracing the edges of carved symbols on stone, their eyes lifted toward the heavens. They speak in whispers, low and melodic, voices barely louder than a sigh. You feel the sound wrap around you, gentle and steady, as if the night itself is breathing with them. Inside the temple, the air is warm and faintly scented with incense and night-blooming flowers. Candles flicker along the walls, small orbs of golden light that dance softly across the floors and ceilings. Each flame seems to pulse slowly, like the quiet heartbeat of the temple, carrying rhythm into every corner of the sacred space. You float along the corridors, feeling the warmth, the stillness, the gentle flow of devotion that moves without haste. The women lead initiates to the central chamber. Here, a dome of stone rises high above, carved with intricate patterns that mimic constellations. Light filters through tiny openings in the ceiling, spilling down like silver rain. The women sit in quiet circles, their hands open and palms raised toward the sky. Their eyes trace the paths of stars, each one a point of connection, a bridge between the cosmos and the soul. A soft hum begins to fill the temple, like the wind whispering through distant canyons. The sound grows slowly, a gentle chorus of voices rising and falling with the natural rhythm of breath. You feel the vibration in your chest, in your arms, in your legs, moving with the pulse of the night. Each note is soft, deliberate, a small wave carrying calm, guiding attention inward, smoothing the edges of thought and worry. The women begin to move in a slow circle. Their steps are measured, each one connecting lightly with the stone floor. Their arms trace soft arcs reaching toward the patterns on the ceiling, toward the stars above. Veils of light seem to float around them, catching candlelight and moonlight, tracing the lines of the carvings with gentle motion. You follow them with your senses, carried along by the rhythm of gesture and shadow, letting the pattern settle into your own mind. One woman kneels before a low altar. She lifts a small bowl of water, letting it catch the candlelight, reflecting the constellations above. She dips her fingers in, letting droplets fall slowly onto the stone floor. Each drop spreads in tiny ripples, catching the soft glow of the temple lights. You feel the movement in your chest, a quiet reminder that the soul, like water, can ripple gently, carrying calm and reflection wherever it flows. The stars above the temple shift slowly as the night moves onward. You notice their light as it bends and stretches through the openings in the dome, falling softly across the women's faces and hands. Each point of light seems to pulse in harmony with the hum of the chant, guiding vision and thought inward, reminding the spirit that the cosmos itself is patient, infinite, and always watching, always steady. The women's gestures become more fluid, tracing invisible paths between the constellations and the carvings below. Each movement is careful, deliberate, and slow. You feel yourself mirrored in their rhythm, your breath deepening, your heart softening, your mind floating freely along the paths they trace. There is nothing urgent here, only the quiet presence of devotion, of light, of connection that reaches beyond words. A soft wind drifts through the open doors, carrying the faint scent of night flowers and cool stone. The women lift their faces, letting the breeze touch their cheeks and hair. You feel it on your own skin, soft and gentle, carrying the sense of calm and balance from the temple outward, spilling into every part of your being. You drift in the breeze, weightless and light, feeling held by the night, by the stars, and by the quiet presence of devotion surrounding you. One initiator lifts her hand, pointing toward a bright star beyond the dome. The women follow her gaze, tracing a slow line across the ceiling, connecting the carvings below with the heavens above. You feel the path in your own chest, a gentle arc that carries thought into calmness, worry into release, and rest into the soft spaces of the soul. Each point of light becomes a quiet companion, a small anchor in the vast expanse, helping the mind to drift and soften. Soft chants rise and fall again, mingling with the sound of distant wind and the gentle pulse of the temple. The hum is steady, slow, as if the night itself is breathing in harmony with the women. You feel your own heartbeat align with the rhythm, each pulse a wave of peace, each breath a gentle tide carrying tension away. The temple seems to expand, the walls stretching outward, the ceiling reaching higher, the stars above closer and warmer, wrapping around you in soft, patient light. The women trace lines across the floor with small candles, creating paths of light that weave in circles and arcs. You follow the glow, drifting with it, letting your body and mind flow with the gentle motion. Each step, each flicker of candlelight, each arc of the arm carries calm, teaching the rhythm of patience, of quiet reflection, of soft attention to the beauty and stillness of the present. The moon rises higher, spilling silver across the temple floor and the women's flowing robes. You notice the veils of light that drift around them, catching both candlelight and moonlight, like soft waves of glow that move with the rhythm of devotion. The temple seems alive with quiet energy, a living presence that carries the weight of centuries, yet remains gentle, patient, and serene. You feel it move through you, softening the mind, calming the spirit, resting the body in weightless peace. Outside, the stars glitter faintly, mirrored in pools of water near the temple steps. The women move slowly toward these pools, letting their hands touch the water lightly, tracing patterns that ripple gently across the surface. You float alongside, feeling your thoughts settle like petals drifting on still water. The reflection of the sky above merges with the temple below, carrying the quiet lesson that the cosmos is always connected to the heart, always steady, always patient. Finally, the women gather near the central dome. They kneel, hands lifted toward the heavens, eyes tracing slow, careful lines across the patterns above. The chant fades softly, leaving only the quiet sound of wind, the gentle pulse of the night, and the faint ripple of water. You feel yourself absorbed into this calm, your body light, your mind soft, your heart steady. The connection between stars and soul is a quiet thread that hums softly in every part of you. Let us drift onward, carried by the gentle light of stars and the slow, patient rhythm of devotion. The temples remain quiet, their stones glowing softly in moonlight. The women's gestures linger, their whispers of connection floating like silk across the air. You are held in this space, soft and calm, every thought settling into gentle reflection, every breath slow and steady. Now rest as the stars return to their endless watch. The night stretches on, infinite and kind. Your spirit lies in quiet harmony with the cosmos, cradled by temples of patience, light, and devotion. Sleep comes softly, like a river, like a veil of moonlight, like the gentle pulse of the universe itself. We sit beside a small, sacred flame. The firekeeper guides with chants that ripple through the air, showing how inner light, devotion, and warmth can illuminate even the quietest heart. Night settles gently over the hills, soft and still, carrying the faint scent of earth and smoke. The sky above is deep and endless, a dark canvas dotted with distant, steady stars. You drift slowly across the quiet landscape, your breath easing with each step, carried by a warm, gentle wind that brushes softly over your face and through your hair. Somewhere ahead, a small flame glows, flickering like a heartbeat in the darkness. The flame belongs to a firekeeper, a woman whose presence is calm and steady. She sits beside a low stone altar, her robes catching the firelight and turning soft shadows into gentle waves that ripple around her. The fire is small but radiant, its warmth reaching outward, wrapping everything near it in a gentle embrace. You float closer, drawn by the quiet pulse of devotion, feeling the heat of the fire brush softly against your skin without burning. Around the flame, the night feels even quieter. The air hums with stillness, carrying faint scents of dried herbs and incense that the firekeeper has laid beside the stone. Each wisp of smoke curls upward slowly, twisting like invisible ribbons in the gentle night breeze. You notice the soft flicker of the flame casting light on the stone, creating small pools of warmth amid the coolness of the night. Your mind follows its glow, letting each ripple of light calm thought and smooth tension from your body. The firekeeper lifts her hands slowly. Her fingers trace small arcs in the air, and the flame seems to respond, dancing gently along with her movements. A low chant begins, soft and melodic, rising with the rhythm of the fire. It is not loud or urgent. It is the quiet song of devotion, carried into the night like a tender river of sound. You feel the vibration touch your chest, your shoulders, and your heart, moving gently through you, untangling worries, and leaving only calm behind. She adds small offerings to the fire, flowers, petals, tiny leaves, one at a time. Each drop of color catches the light for a moment before settling into the warmth of the flame. You notice how the firekeeper's movements are deliberate, slow, and mindful. Each gesture is both prayer and dance, showing that care and attention, even in small acts, can create a sacred rhythm that flows outward like light rippling across a still pond. The fire hums with life. Its tiny sparks rise and fall, reflecting in the firekeeper's calm eyes. You watch as the glow flickers on her face, tracing soft lines that seem older than time yet familiar, comforting. Around the fire, shadows stretch and bend, moving in quiet harmony with the flames, wrapping the space in a rhythm of light and calm. You feel yourself breathing in tune with this movement, inhaling warmth, exhaling tension, your chest rising and falling like gentle waves. The chant shifts, a little higher, a little longer, as if the fire itself has begun to sing along. You notice that the firekeeper's lips move slowly, forming words you cannot understand yet feel. The language is soft, full of care and devotion, carrying a rhythm that your heart recognizes. Each syllable is like a small wave brushing over your thoughts, smoothing the edges, softening the weight of the day, settling you into the stillness of night. She gestures toward the small embers at the edges of the flame, showing the way even the smallest spark can create warmth and light. Each ember glows like a tiny sun, holding a moment of devotion in its heart. You feel this lesson settle softly inside you. Even the quietest parts of your spirit can hold light, can carry warmth, can touch other hearts without making noise. The firekeeper's song is a reminder that the soul itself is a gentle flame, patient and enduring, waiting to illuminate quietly and softly. Around the fire, the air carries the sound of distant animals stirring and leaves brushing against each other in the night breeze. Yet the flame remains steady, its warmth constant, and the firekeeper's song flows with it, steady and calm. You feel the weight of day fall away, replaced by a lightness that moves through your arms, your legs, and your chest. leaving nothing but soft presence and quiet peace. She reaches for a small bowl of water beside her. With slow hands, she sprinkles it lightly onto the stones surrounding the fire. The droplets hiss softly, tiny sparks rising as the heat meets coolness. You notice how the simple act creates balance. The warmth of the flame, the coolness of water, the rhythm of night. Each small gesture is a meditation, a reminder that devotion is not loud or showy, but flows through gentle, deliberate attention to the present moment. The firekeeper begins to hum again, softly, a single note that stretches into the night. It vibrates through the stones, the earth, and the air around you. You feel the sound in your chest, a steady, grounding rhythm that mirrors the pulse of your own heart. Your thoughts, like small leaves in a stream, float gently down, carried away by the rhythm of the song, leaving calm and quiet behind. The flame grows slightly brighter, its glow reflecting in the small, polished stones that the firekeeper has arranged carefully around the altar. The light ripples across the space, moving with the gentle sway of her body, reaching outward to touch even the edges of your awareness. You notice how each movement, each note, each flicker of the fire is part of a larger rhythm, a slow dance that carries patience, warmth, and devotion. Around the fire, shadows lean softly against each other, swaying with the flame. The night itself seems to bend to this quiet rhythm, carrying the warmth of devotion into the distant hills, the trees, and the river beyond. You feel as though you are floating within this circle, held in the gentle orbit of the fire, the song, and the patient presence of the firekeeper. She lifts her arms again, palms open to the sky. Sparks rise, tiny and delicate, floating upward like small stars released into the night. You feel them brush against your skin, soft, weightless, carrying calm. The firekeeper hums, letting the song extend to the tip of each spark. You follow them in your mind, letting the gentle ascent carry your thoughts, your worries, and your restlessness upward, leaving your spirit lighter, freer, and more serene. The night grows even deeper, yet the fire continues to glow steadily. Its warmth does not falter, its light does not waver. The firekeeper's song flows on, a quiet current of devotion that moves with patience and grace. You float beside it, noticing how each flicker and hum is mirrored in your own chest, in your own heartbeat, in the rhythm of your breath. A small breeze drifts through, carrying the scent of night-blooming flowers and cooled stones. The fire dances lightly with the wind, flickering in patterns soft and fluid. The firekeeper lets it move naturally, adjusting her movements gently to follow the rhythm. You feel yourself doing the same, adjusting inwardly, letting your thoughts and body sway with the gentle, patient rhythm of the night. The song becomes softer now, notes stretching longer, fading slowly into the quiet hum of the night. The fire shrinks slightly, embers glowing steadily, tiny suns resting on the stones. You notice how even in its stillness the flame carries warmth and light, just as your own inner spirit can do without effort. Without noise, without haste, let us drift onward, beside this sacred flame, carried by the rhythm of song and light. Let the warmth settle in your chest. Let the quiet pulse of devotion ease every tension, and let the gentle glow remind you that even in silence, the heart can shine softly, calmly, and fully. Now rest, as the stars and fire both watch over you. The night carries your spirit gently. The firekeeper's song lingers in the air, and your inner light hums quietly, steady and patient, guiding you deeper into peaceful sleep, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, into the tender embrace of night. Soft reflections in water, polished stone, and silver mirrors reveal hidden truths. Divine women show the art of self-reflection, encouraging gentle acceptance and understanding of one's own journey. Night has settled softly across the valley, wrapping the hills and temples in quiet darkness. The sky is deep and wide, sprinkled with countless stars that shimmer like faint lanterns in a slow, gentle rhythm. You float through this calm, carried on a breeze that is light, cool, and steady. The air holds a faint scent of water and moss, of smooth stones warmed by the fading sun, and of night-blooming flowers. Everything moves slowly here, in harmony with the gentle pulse of the world. A small temple comes into view, low and welcoming, its stones pale and smooth under the moonlight. The entrance glows faintly with candlelight, small flames flickering in a quiet pattern that guides the way. You drift closer, feeling the hush of reverence in the air. Inside, the atmosphere is soft and intimate. The walls are lined with mirrors, polished stones, and shallow pools of water. Each surface holds a reflection, a gentle echo of light, movement, and thought. Divine women move among the reflections, their robes flowing like liquid silk. Their movements are slow, deliberate, full of calm attention. Some kneel at the edges of pools, tracing patterns in the water with their fingertips. Each ripple spreads outward gently, catching moonlight and candlelight in soft waves. You float beside them, noticing how their gestures leave no disturbance, only quiet clarity and a sense of openness. One woman lifts a polished silver mirror, holding it carefully before her face. She studies the reflection with soft, patient eyes. There is no hurry, no judgment, only a gentle recognition of what is. Every line, every shadow, every shimmer of light on her features. You feel the same quiet understanding move through you. Reflection here is not critique, but tender attention, a soft invitation to know oneself without urgency, without fear. Water shimmers in shallow basins across the temple floor. The women move from one to another, touching the surface lightly with their hands, letting small circles ripple outward. Each ripple catches the glow of candles and the pale silver of the moon, creating a mosaic of shifting light that seems alive, breathing slowly with the rhythm of the night. You float above the basins, feeling the calm flow into your chest and shoulders, your thoughts softening like ripples fading into still water. The women begin a quiet chant, soft and melodic, rising and falling like gentle tides. You feel it in your body more than hear it, a vibration that moves with the rhythm of breath and heartbeat. The sound blends with the whisper of the breeze and the faint rustle of leaves outside, creating a harmony that carries calm and reflection to every corner of your mind. Each note is a soft guide, inviting you to notice yourself without hurry, to see without judgment, and to rest in the gentle truth of being. Mirrors of polished stone catch candlelight and moonlight alike, reflecting shapes and movement in slow, fluid patterns. The women guide initiates to these mirrors, letting them study the subtle shifts of light across their own features. Each reflection shows not only the outer form, but the quiet depth of spirit within. You notice your own reflection in the water and stone as you drift, and it seems to smile softly, encouraging calm understanding and acceptance. The women demonstrate another gentle ritual. They take small bowls of water and pour it slowly into the larger pools. The streams create delicate patterns on the surface, tiny ripples that intersect and fade, leaving smooth, still water once more. You feel your own thoughts settle like these tiny ripples, moving gently before merging into calm. The lesson of the mirrors, the water, and the polished stones becomes clear. Self-reflection is not about rushing, but about observing patiently, understanding gently, and letting each insight flow softly into awareness. A soft wind drifts through the temple, brushing against your skin and the robes of the women. It carries the subtle scent of night flowers and cool stone, wrapping the space in a quiet, soothing rhythm. You float in this gentle current, noticing how even the simplest movement, breath, ripple, shimmer of light, can carry a sense of connection, a sense of inner peace. Each reflection in the mirrors and pools seems to pulse with the rhythm of the night, a slow heartbeat that matches your own. The women move slowly among the mirrors, tilting and turning them so that each reflection catches the light in a slightly different way. You notice how one face can seem soft and warm in one mirror, serene and distant in another. This multiplicity teaches patience and gentle acceptance, that the self is fluid, nuanced, and ever-changing, and that every reflection is part of the whole. You feel this lesson deep inside, a calm understanding that allows your mind to release rigid thought and rest softly in awareness. Polished stones lie along the floor, small and smooth, arranged with care. The women touch each one lightly, letting their fingertips glide over the surfaces. Each stone seems to hold a quiet memory, a small truth, a gentle story. You follow their movements, noticing how attention itself can be a kind of reflection, how patience in observation allows small insights to surface without effort or struggle. Your thoughts settle further, merging with the calm rhythm of water, stone, and light. The chant shifts, a little slower now, a little softer. The women kneel beside the pools, eyes tracing patterns in the water, hands hovering above the surface without disturbing it. Each ripple is deliberate, each reflection a quiet companion. You float alongside, feeling the ebb and flow of thought, the gentle rise and fall of awareness. The reflections show not only the women, the temple, and the candlelight, but also your own calm spirit, mirrored in stillness. Outside, the night is quiet, save for the soft rustle of leaves and the distant hum of insects. The temple walls hold the reflections of stars and moonlight, creating a space where inner and outer worlds meet. The women move slowly among the mirrors and pools, showing the initiates how to let observation be a gentle guide, how to allow self-awareness to flow like water, and how to embrace understanding with softness and care. A small silver mirror rests at the edge of one pool. A woman lifts it and tilts it to catch the candlelight. The reflection dances across the surface of the water in delicate arcs. You follow it with your eyes and heart, feeling the calm ripple through you. Light and shadow, water and stone, candle and moon, all weave together into a quiet rhythm that holds patience, understanding, and gentle insight. The women hum again, softly, the sound rising and falling like a tide. It blends with the gentle movement of water, the slow pulse of light, and the soft caress of night air. You feel your own heartbeat slowing, your breath lengthening, your mind quieting. Each reflection, each ripple, each soft note is a gentle invitation to rest in the awareness of your own presence, to see without hurry, and to accept without judgment. Small ripples form in the pools as the women touch the water with fingertips and palms. Each circle spreads outward, soft and slow, eventually fading into stillness. You notice your own inner currents following the same rhythm, thoughts drifting lightly, tension melting, awareness settling into quiet clarity. The mirrors, the water, and the polished stone teach patience and reflection, showing that gentle observation leads naturally to understanding and peace. The candlelight flickers softly, catching in silver mirrors and polished stone, creating dancing reflections that move like slow, quiet stars. You float among them, your attention drifting gently, carried by light, water, and song. The women's movements are slow and deliberate, each gesture an offering of patience and care. You feel your own spirit mirrored in the calm, steady flow of attention, and your thoughts merge into the soft rhythm of the temple night. Let us drift onward, beside the gentle pools and shining mirrors. Let each reflection show not only what is outside, but what is inside, letting awareness settle softly, letting understanding flow like water over smooth stones. The women guide with quiet presence, showing that reflection is not a task, but a gentle embrace, a slow and patient journey into the heart. Now rest, as the mirrors and water and candlelight hold you tenderly. Your spirit floats quietly among them, softened by gentle observation, calmed by patient reflection, and carried toward peaceful sleep. The night breathes slowly, the stars shimmer faintly, and your heart rests in the gentle mirror of the spirit, serene, calm, and wholly at ease. In lush, secret gardens, soft petals fall as if carrying messages. Here, sacred women teach the rhythm of life cycles, renewal, and the quiet power of patience and nurture. Twilight spreads its soft, muted colors across the landscape. The air is gentle, warm, and filled with the faint scent of blossoms. You drift slowly along a winding path, feeling the soft earth beneath your feet and the tender brush of leaves against your hands. Every step carries you closer to a hidden garden, a place where time moves slowly, and every sound is a soft note in a natural lullaby. The garden opens before you, a secret haven of green, gold, and delicate pinks. Trees arch overhead, their branches swaying with the softest sigh of wind. Flowers nod gently in the breeze, petals falling quietly, as if each one carries a message of calm and patience. Water trickles through small streams, glimmering in the last light of day, creating a quiet song that mingles with the soft rustle of leaves. Sacred women move among the flowers, their steps deliberate and slow. Their hands brush the petals gently, letting the blossoms fall into the streams or onto the soft moss below. Each gesture is full of care, a quiet ritual of respect for the garden and for life itself. You float alongside them, feeling the rhythm of their movements, sensing how the garden teaches by its very presence. Life unfolds patiently, in its own time, with gentle attention and nurturing care. One woman kneels beside a small pool, her fingers tracing patterns in the water. Ripples form and expand, catching the fading sunlight and reflecting the colors of blossoms above. She hums softly, a sound that moves like a gentle current through the garden. The vibration touches your chest and shoulders, smoothing away the weight of thought, leaving only calm and presence. You notice how each ripple moves outward, affecting everything around it, yet fading into stillness, showing that patience carries subtle power, Petals fall slowly from overhead, landing on moss, on stone paths, and on the water. Each one is soft, carrying a quiet message of renewal. You reach out to catch one in your hand and feel its delicate weight. A gentle reminder that even the smallest things hold meaning. The sacred women smile softly at the falling petals, accepting each one as part of the garden's rhythm, part of the quiet cycle of life, growth, and renewal. The air carries a faint melody, perhaps from the wind itself or from the women's soft hums. It is slow, flowing, and endless, moving through every branch, flower, and stream. You follow its course with your breath, inhaling the calm, exhaling tension. Every note seems to weave together the garden and your spirit, creating a gentle harmony that resonates quietly in your chest. Some women tend the young shoots, brushing away fallen leaves and giving gentle water to small plants. Their actions are slow, full of patience, each movement deliberate yet light. You watch them care for the smallest sprouts, feeling the lesson sink softly into your mind. Attention and nurture, given without hurry or force, allow life to flourish quietly and steadily. A stream curves through the heart of the garden, reflecting the sky above. The water is clear, carrying the image of blossoms, trees, and women moving gracefully along its edge. You float beside the stream, noticing how the current flows gently, unhurried, guiding petals and leaves along with it. The stream seems to whisper, soft and low, that all growth, all renewal, comes in cycles, that even stillness is part of the movement of life. The women gather around a circle of stones in the center of the garden. Each stone is smooth and warm, placed carefully to form a quiet sanctuary within the sanctuary. They kneel, brushing petals around the stones and tracing soft patterns in the moss. The circle becomes a mirror of the garden itself, small acts of care and attention creating balance, harmony, and a subtle flow of life. You feel your own presence becoming part of this rhythm, each breath moving like a soft ripple across calm water. Soft light filters through the trees, dancing across petals and stones. The women lift their hands slowly, letting the shadows and light play across their movements. Every gesture seems like a prayer, not loud or urgent, but patient and deliberate. You feel the warmth of the light on your skin, the gentle touch of the breeze, and the soft hum of life moving all around. The garden teaches that care and patience, even in the smallest acts, hold the power to shape, nurture, and renew. A single woman releases petals into the air, letting them float and drift along the current of the wind. You watch as they twirl and fall softly, landing on moss, water, and stone. Each petal carries a quiet lesson. Life flows in cycles, and every ending leads naturally to a beginning. You breathe slowly, letting this rhythm sink deeply into your chest, easing your thoughts and carrying you into calm awareness. The stream sings softly, rippling over stones, petals, and fallen leaves. The women trace their hands over the water's surface, letting small waves travel outward. You notice how each ripple interacts with others, how one gentle touch can touch many points without hurry. Your mind begins to mirror the flow, thoughts moving lightly, merging and settling, until stillness rests quietly at the center of your awareness. Above, the trees sway with the soft night wind, leaves brushing together in slow, whispering conversation. You float beneath the branches, feeling as if the garden itself speaks to you, reminding you that patience, attention, and quiet care hold their own deep power. Every falling petal, every ripple, every gentle movement is a lesson in living softly and meaningfully, without rush or strain. The women kneel beside small seedlings, their hands shaping the earth gently around each sprout. Their hums rise and fall with the rhythm of life. Inhale, exhale, growth, rest, renewal. You follow their motions with your own awareness, noticing how the slow, steady care allows everything to thrive. Even the smallest act of attention carries weight and light, like a single star in a vast, dark sky. Petals float down the stream, carried softly along its curves. You watch as they meet stones, touch water, and drift onward, never hurried, always present. Each petal seems to whisper its own story of gentle endurance, of quiet patience, of the beauty found in nurturing what is alive. Your mind eases further, flowing with the current, settling into a gentle, meditative rhythm that matches the garden itself. The women rise slowly, walking along the mossy paths, leaving small trails of petals behind them. Their movements are like slow waves, soft and continuous, teaching by presence rather than words. You feel the lesson touch your heart, Nurture, patience, and quiet attention are enough. They hold their own light, their own rhythm, and their own power to restore and renew. The light fades softly as night deepens, leaving the garden bathed in the gentle glow of moonlight. The streams shimmer, reflecting silver across the petals and stones. The women sit quietly, their hums fading into the sound of rustling leaves and flowing water. You float among them, carried by the rhythm of life, soothed by the cycles of nature, and held in the calm embrace of the garden. Let us drift onward through this whispering garden, carried by petals, streams, and soft wind. Let the rhythm of care, patience, and gentle nurture sink into your chest, quieting thoughts and easing your spirit. The garden, the women, and the flowing streams hold you tenderly, guiding you deeper into peaceful rest. Now rest as the petals settle, the streams shimmer, and the night folds you into calm. Your spirit drifts among the whispering leaves, the soft glow of moonlight, and the gentle flow of life, serene, light, and wholly at ease. We explore the balance of dark and light, shadow and clarity, as women in ancient cults guide souls through rituals of healing, letting the spirit move softly between fear and comfort. Night deepens over the quiet valley. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of damp earth and night flowers. You drift along a narrow path, where shadows stretch long across the ground, and moonlight filters softly through branches overhead. The world is hushed, every sound a gentle note, the whisper of leaves, the soft trickle of a distant stream, the low hum of insects in the dark. You feel the calm begin to settle into your chest, each breath slowing, each heartbeat echoing softly in rhythm with the night. A temple comes into view, its stones worn and darkened with time. From its entrance, faint light spills across the ground, a mixture of silver moonlight and warm candle glow. Shadows dance across the walls, shifting with the flicker of flames, soft and gentle. You float closer, feeling the quiet invitation of the space, a place where light and shadow meet, where the rhythm of night teaches patience, reflection, and the gentle embrace of what is. Inside, the air carries a soft warmth, scented with incense and flowering herbs. Women move slowly through the space, their robes flowing, their hands tracing patterns in the air, over stone, and through soft pools of water. Each movement is deliberate, soft, and full of care. You notice how shadows cling to the corners, yet the light seems to follow, embracing the darkness rather than chasing it away. Here the interplay of shadow and light is not frightening. It is a dance, a gentle teaching, a way to see both fear and comfort as part of the whole. Candles line the temple floor, their flames flickering softly, casting long reflections on polished stones. A woman kneels beside one, her hand hovering above the flame, feeling its warmth without touching, feeling its presence without haste. The shadow it casts stretches and bends, moving gently across the walls. You float beside her, noticing how shadow and light together create depth, texture, and understanding. The lesson is quiet but clear. Life holds both darkness and illumination, and both are necessary for gentle growth and healing. Soft drums begin to sound, far away at first, then closer. They are low and steady, a heartbeat that seems to pulse through the temple floor and into your chest. You feel the rhythm move slowly through your body, a reminder of your own inner pulse, steady and calm. The women move with the rhythm, their hands tracing soft arcs through the air, marking circles of shadow and light. Each gesture holds patience, allowing the dance of fear and comfort to unfold without rush. A small pool of water rests in the center of the temple. One woman bends over it, letting her fingers touch the surface. Ripples spread slowly, catching both candlelight and shadow, bending them together in gentle patterns. You drift above the pool, watching as the reflections shift and change, showing that even in stillness, movement exists. The shadows and light mix, showing hidden shapes and soft clarity, teaching that healing comes not from avoiding darkness, but from seeing it clearly, letting it move through you gently. The women chant softly, their voices blending with the low drums and the flickering candlelight. The sound is slow and flowing, rising and falling like a gentle tide. You notice how each note carries warmth into the shadows, not to erase them, but to meet them, to show their quiet presence as part of the dance. You feel the rhythm in your own breath, softening your chest, easing tension, letting awareness expand like a quiet glow. A shadow moves along the temple wall, long and slow. One woman follows it with her gaze, her hands tracing its edges, letting it flow across the floor and up the stones. Light bends around it, creating shapes that are both distinct and gentle. You float beside her, noticing how the shadow reveals texture and depth that light alone cannot show. The teaching is simple and soft. To understand the self, one must let both light and shadow be seen, without fear or judgment. Small bowls of water are placed along the edges of the room. The women dip their hands into them, lifting droplets that shimmer in candlelight before falling back, spreading soft rings across the surface. Each ring moves slowly, intersecting others, fading into stillness. You watch the gentle interplay of movement and calm, of shadow and light reflected in water. Your own mind begins to mirror this rhythm, thoughts drifting lightly, merging and settling, until only quiet clarity remains. A soft breeze enters through an open doorway, stirring the flames and carrying the scent of night blossoms. You feel it brush across your skin, cooling and comforting, moving slowly through hair and robes. The women move with the breeze, letting it guide their gestures, letting shadows bend gently around them, letting light caress the edges of the room. You float with them, carried by the rhythm of wind, shadow and flame, feeling your own spirit soften and stretch into the calm. A single woman lifts a silver mirror toward a candle. Its surface captures both light and shadow, reflecting them together in delicate patterns. You drift closer, noticing how the reflection moves, how the interplay creates something new and subtle, something calm and whole. The mirror teaches that the self, too, holds light and shadow together, and that gentle observation allows understanding to grow quietly within. The women gather around a low stone altar. Candles, bowls of water, and small crystals are placed in careful arrangement. Their hands hover above the objects, tracing slow, deliberate arcs. Shadows bend across the altar, moving like soft waves, while light dances gently with them. You feel your chest expand and release with each breath, carried by the rhythm of these simple, quiet gestures. Healing is not sudden or loud. It is soft, slow, and tender. Outside, the night sky is deep and calm, stars peeking through dark clouds. You hear the distant rustle of trees, the whisper of wind across hills, and the faint hum of the temple's rhythm. Inside, the women continue their slow dance, tracing arcs of light and shadow with hands, eyes, and gentle breath. Each movement carries patience. Each gesture speaks of soft attention, and each shadow is met with gentle illumination. You drift along, your awareness moving like the soft flame, bending around shadows, following light, resting fully in the calm balance of the moment. The candles flicker lower, casting long, slow shadows. The women kneel, their hands touching water, stone, and air, moving like slow ripples of attention. You notice the quiet wisdom in each gesture. Fear and comfort, shadow and light, all are part of the rhythm of healing. There is no rush, no demand, only soft presence. You feel your own mind align with this rhythm, thoughts falling like petals, easing into stillness. Heart and breath flowing together in gentle balance. Soft hums rise and fall in the temple, mingling with candlelight, shadow, and wind. You notice how each hum seems to touch both light and shadow equally, not seeking to erase one, but allowing both to exist together in harmony. You float among the women, feeling the same balance within yourself, a gentle equilibrium of thought and spirit, easing further into quiet. The pool in the center reflects the low candle flames, the silver mirror, and the shadows moving gently along the walls. Ripples form slowly, spreading in concentric circles, then fading into stillness. You drift above the water, noticing the calm clarity that comes from gentle observation. Shadows and light merge, each giving depth to the other, teaching that understanding and healing come from embracing both with patience and care. A small wind passes through, stirring leaves, petals, and the soft robes of the women. You float within the rhythm, carried by the delicate motion, by shadow and light intertwined. The night moves slowly, the temple breathes quietly, and the women guide with gentle presence. Your mind and spirit drift along with them, easing into a soft, meditative flow where nothing needs changing, nothing needs rushing, only gentle awareness and calm presence remain. Let us drift onward, along the quiet path of shadows and light. Let the rhythm of night, flame, water, and soft breath carry calm into your chest. Feel each shadow as part of the whole, each flicker of light as gentle guidance. The temple, the women, and the night itself hold you tenderly, letting your spirit rest in soft balance and quiet understanding. Now rest. As the shadows settle, the candlelight softens, and the night folds around you. Your spirit drifts in the gentle space between dark and light, calm, patient, and wholly at ease. A sacred cup holds more than water. It holds wisdom. Here women offer lessons in gratitude, generosity, and the silent power of giving without expecting in return. Twilight spreads across a quiet valley, painting the sky with soft hues of amber and violet. You drift slowly along a narrow path, lined with smooth stones and wildflowers swaying gently in the evening breeze. The air carries the faint scent of honey and jasmine, mingling with the distant steady sound of flowing water. Each step seems lighter than the last, as if the very earth beneath your feet is easing you into a gentle, restful rhythm. Ahead, a temple comes into view, its walls glowing softly in the fading light. Candles flicker along its edges, casting warm patterns across polished stone floors. The shadows and light blend like soft brush strokes, moving slowly with the sway of trees outside and the quiet wind passing through open windows. You float closer, noticing the serenity in every detail. The careful arrangement of stones, the subtle reflections of candlelight in small pools of water, the soft rustle of leaves that whispers like a quiet song. Within the temple, women move gracefully, their robes gliding like gentle currents across the floor. Their hands trace arcs through the air, brush petals into small pools, or lift chalices to the soft light. Each gesture carries care, reverence, and a quiet rhythm. One chalice, made of warm golden metal, sits at the center of a low altar. Its surface gleams softly, reflecting candlelight and the moon above. And you feel the cup's presence as more than metal. It holds stories, wisdom, and the essence of giving. A woman kneels beside the chalice, her hands hovering above it without touching, as if sensing the spirit held within. She tilts the cup slightly, letting a single drop of water spill into a small bowl. The ripples spread slowly across the surface, catching light and shadow alike. You float closer, noticing the subtle message in the motion. Generosity flows gently, touching everything it meets, yet leaving the giver free and light. Soft chants rise, barely audible, like a breeze moving through leaves. The women hum in harmony, voices gentle and slow. Each note carries warmth and presence, filling the space without rushing, without demanding. You feel the vibration pass through your chest, smoothing thoughts, quieting the mind, and settling the spirit. The rhythm of the chant mirrors the quiet rhythm of giving. Deliberate, gentle, and filled with patience. A small stream runs near the temple, reflecting the golden light of the chalice and the soft silver of the moon. Women kneel beside the water, lifting chalices filled with drops from the stream and letting them flow back, one by one. You notice how each drop touches the water lightly, creating ripples that intersect and fade into stillness. Giving, you realize, is like this. Small, quiet, gentle, yet it spreads far beyond the moment it occurs. The woman beside the chalice lifts it slowly, her movements deliberate and careful. She turns the cup so the light passes through the golden metal, casting soft patterns onto the stone floor. You see the reflections shimmer across petals, water, and stone. It feels as if the light itself is carrying lessons of gratitude and silent generosity, bending and folding gently into the space. Your breath follows the patterns, slow and even, letting calm settle fully in your chest. Other women move around the altar, placing small gifts of flowers, seeds, or water beside the chalice. Their gestures are quiet, humble, and precise, each act honoring the spirit of giving. You notice how no one expects praise or reward. Each action exists for its own sake. There is a sacred quiet in this, a lesson whispered without words. True generosity blooms in stillness, free of expectation, and yet it carries profound light. A gentle wind moves through open windows, brushing against robes, petals, and flowing water. The chalice glimmers in the soft currents, light dancing across its surface. You float beside it, feeling the warmth of its glow, noticing how giving can feel as natural as breathing when it flows from the heart. The women's movements, soft chants, and quiet attention create a space where the spirit can rest, observing how generosity, like water, moves effortlessly when unburdened by desire for return. One woman kneels beside the chalice, holding a small bowl of water and offering it to the flame. She tilts the cup gently, letting the water touch the base of the candle. The flame flickers in response, brightening and softening, creating a delicate dance of light and reflection. You drift closer, sensing that the act is more than simple ritual. It is a meditation on the power of giving, on letting light flow from one vessel to another, silently and completely. Petals float down from overhead branches, landing around the altar and the chalice. The women trace patterns in the petals with their hands, guiding them gently into pools or onto smooth stone. You watch the slow, deliberate care with which they move, understanding that each action is a small act of generosity. The soft petals, the ripple of water, the gentle flame, each reflects a quiet teaching. The gift of attention, presence, and care carries its own light. Soft drums begin far away, low and steady, pulsing slowly through the temple floor. The women move their hands in harmony with the rhythm, guiding the chalices, water, and petals as if they were conducting a gentle symphony. You feel the pulse in your chest, echoing your heartbeat, steady and calm. The rhythm reminds you that generosity, like music, flows naturally, in cycles, moving through space and spirit without force. A reflection in a small pool captures the golden chalice, the soft candlelight, and the women kneeling around it. You notice how light and water intermingle, creating patterns that shift with every ripple. The reflection seems alive, moving gently like thought or breath. You feel yourself carried by the slow movement, noticing that giving is both quiet and profound, simple yet radiant, like the soft light mirrored in water. One woman lifts the chalice to her lips, but not to drink. Instead, she lets her hands hover above it, letting the warmth and light of the cup flow through her. You float nearby, sensing that the gift is not only outward but inward as well. Selfless attention, gratitude and care offered freely, filling both giver and receiver with quiet illumination. The women place the chalice back on its pedestal, letting the golden light spill across the floor, petals and water. They kneel, closing their eyes, resting hands upon stones or bowls, moving with gentle breaths that rise and fall like waves. The temple is filled with a soft resonance, a gentle hum of gratitude and silent generosity, carrying calm into every corner. You drift with them, letting the rhythm of light water petals, and breath carry your thoughts into quiet stillness. Outside, the moon reflects on a small stream, its silver light mingling with the golden reflections spilling from the temple. You float beside the water, noticing how it carries each ripple, each light, each act of giving, onward without effort. Everything is part of the cycle: the chalice, the drops, the petals, the gestures, the reflections. Each moment holds lessons, each breath holds peace. You feel the quiet understanding of the garden, the temple, and the sacred cup. Giving freely allows life to flow, carrying soft illumination wherever it travels. The candles flicker slowly as night deepens. Shadows stretch across the stone floors, mingling with warm light. The women rest beside the chalice, their hands folded or resting gently on their laps. You float among them, feeling a soft calm descend. Each heartbeat, each breath, each gentle gesture is a meditation on patience, care, and quiet generosity. You sense the fullness of the teaching. Giving freely without expectation nourishes the soul as surely as water nourishes a seed. Soft petals fall into the pools surrounding the altar, their weight barely touching the surface before floating gently outward. Ripples extend slowly, overlapping, merging, and fading into stillness. You watch, letting your own mind mirror this rhythm. Thoughts settle softly, each one fading like a petal, leaving clarity and calm. The golden chalice reflects both light and shadow, showing the beauty of balanced, patient, selfless giving. Let us drift onward, carried by the gentle flow of water, light, and the warmth of the sacred cup. Let the rhythm of breath, petals, and slow gestures settle in your chest, quieting thought and spirit. The women, the chalice, and the temple hold you tenderly, guiding your mind into stillness, your heart into calm, your soul into soft illumination. Now rest, as the golden light mingles with shadows, as the water ripples and petals settle, and as the sacred cup holds its quiet wisdom. Your spirit floats gently, carried by the gentle lessons of gratitude and silent generosity, safe, serene, and wholly at peace. The wind sweeps through empty sands, carrying the songs of priestesses long gone. In their echoes, we hear the importance of solitude, reflection, and the gentle guidance of inner wisdom. The sun has long set, leaving the desert under a soft, silver twilight. You float across shifting sands, where each dune rises like a quiet thought and falls like a gentle breath. The air carries the faint warmth of the day, slowly fading into the cool hush of evening. A distant whisper of wind moves across the open landscape, soft and rhythmic like the faint echo of a song once sung, now folded into the space between each grain of sand. You notice the sky stretching wide above, a vast canvas of deep indigo and soft starlight. Each star shines like a tiny lantern, guiding travelers through the stillness. The moon rests low on the horizon, casting pale light that curves along the rolling dunes, highlighting the quiet beauty of the desert's embrace. The silence here is not empty. It is filled with the gentle hum of time, of memories, and of the whispers of those who walked these sands long ago. A solitary temple rises on a distant dune, its stone walls smooth and weathered. Candles flicker faintly along the edges, though most of their light is soft and diffused by the desert air. You drift closer, noticing the gentle sway of thin curtains at the open doorways. The space beyond feels suspended, untouched by haste, untouched by expectation. The desert itself seems to cradle the temple, its quiet expanses offering patience, stillness, and reflection. Inside, priestesses move slowly, their feet barely pressing the sand-colored floor. Their robes ripple with each deliberate step, brushing softly against the smooth stones. They carry no chalices or water here, only their voices and the soft instruments of distant chimes. You hear the hum of their song, gentle and flowing, like wind through hollow reeds. The melody moves slowly across the room, lingering in the corners and along the high arched ceilings. It is a song of patience, of reflection, of listening to the quiet wisdom carried in every breath. One priestess kneels beside a shallow basin of water, tracing gentle patterns on its surface with the tips of her fingers. The ripples move outward, crossing the basin, touching its edges, and fading into stillness. You watch, floating above, noticing how each gentle motion mirrors the slow unfolding of thought. Reflection, the desert seems to whisper, begins in quiet observation, in gentle attention to what is already present. Outside, the wind bends the tips of small desert grasses, brushing softly across stones and scattered petals left from earlier rituals. The priestesses' voices rise and fall in harmony with this natural rhythm. You hear their echoes carried across the dunes, folding into the quiet spaces between stars. Each note feels like a small lamp of guidance, illuminating thoughts without force, warming the spirit without heat, and softening edges that had grown sharp from worry or haste. A small, golden incense burner rests upon a low pedestal in the center of the temple. Wisps of smoke curl lazily upward, twisting and drifting in slow arcs. The scent is soft, sandalwood, sage, and a hint of desert herbs. The smoke reflects the light of the few candles, creating faint shadows that dance across the stone walls. You drift closer, letting the scent fill your senses. With each inhalation, your thoughts become slower, more fluid, as if carried by the curling smoke toward the quiet wisdom of the desert. The priestesses begin to chant softly, their words almost inaudible, folded into the rhythm of the wind and the soft shifting of sand. The melody is neither hurried nor forceful. It flows gently, like water along a hidden stream beneath the dunes. Each syllable seems to ripple outward, touching the walls, the floor, and the open desert beyond. You feel the vibration in your chest, in your back, in the very bones of your body, coaxing tension to release, coaxing the mind to settle. A solitary figure stands at the temple entrance, gazing outward toward the horizon. She lifts her hands slowly, letting the evening breeze brush against her palms, carrying away small worries and the weight of unspoken thoughts. The wind seems to respond, curling gently around her figure, lifting sand into soft spirals that shimmer faintly in the moonlight. You float alongside her, sensing that solitude, when embraced with calm attention, can be as nurturing as any gathering. As warm as any hearth, the desert stretches endlessly in every direction, each dune a gentle curve, each shadow a soft companion. The priestesses move among the spaces, offering quiet guidance, their hands tracing arcs in the air, lifting small stones or letting sand slip slowly through their fingers. You watch how each movement is deliberate, yet effortless, like the slow turning of stars overhead, like the gradual shift of light and shadow across the dunes. Each action is a lesson in patience, in gentle care, and in listening to the quiet wisdom within. A small pool of water glimmers nearby, catching reflections of the moon and scattered candlelight. The priestesses kneel beside it, lifting tiny amounts of sand into the water, watching the patterns emerge, ripple, and fade. You notice how even the smallest gestures hold meaning. The deliberate act of touching water, of letting sand fall, of observing the slow movement of ripple and reflection. Everything flows gently. Everything carries a message. Everything teaches through quiet, deliberate presence. Soft drums echo far in the distance, barely perceptible, like the heartbeat of the desert itself. The rhythm moves slowly, rising and falling, guiding breath and thought alike. The priestesses adjust their chant to meet the subtle pulse, letting voice, wind, and rhythm merge. You feel yourself drawn into the cadence, letting each heartbeat and soft vibration soothe your chest, calm your mind, and steady your spirit. A golden chalice rests near the center of the temple, though it holds no water here. Its surface glimmers faintly in the candlelight, reflecting shadows and silver moonbeams alike. The priestesses kneel beside it, tracing delicate patterns along its rim, their fingers brushing lightly, reverently. The chalice seems to hold the very essence of quiet attention, the distilled wisdom of patience, reflection, and gentle guidance. Each gesture, each touch, each careful movement becomes a teaching in itself. Outside, the wind carries soft echoes across the desert. You hear them as if from a distance, the faint hum of ancient songs, the gentle murmur of voices folded into time, the whispers of priestesses long gone. Each sound seems to hold a small instruction. Listen, pause, breathe, reflect. You float among these echoes, letting them seep into your awareness, letting the desert, the temple, and the sacred space guide your heart into calm. Petals drift slowly across the stone floors of the temple, moved by the wind and the soft fingers of the priestesses. Each petal falls deliberately, landing in small patterns that seem both accidental and intentional. You notice how their gentle descent mirrors the quiet unfolding of thought, the slow settling of the mind. The desert teaches through simplicity. Each action, each pause, each breath carries its own lesson when observed with patience. The priestesses rest beside the chalice and the incense, their hands folded or resting lightly on smooth stones. The air is filled with soft, silent music, the wind weaving in and out, carrying the faint traces of chant, candlelight, and the subtle pulse of distant drums. You float above, feeling the softness of the night and the gentle care of presence all around. The desert, the temple, and the echoes of the songs converge, cradling spirit, thought, and breath in quiet harmony. Let us drift onward, following the gentle flow of wind, candlelight, and soft echoes across the sands. Let the slow rhythm of chant, ripple, and breath carry you into stillness. The priestesses, the chalice, and the desert hold you tenderly, guiding your mind into reflection, your heart into calm, your spirit into quiet understanding. Now rest. As the stars rise fully over the desert, as the soft wind whispers through dunes, as candlelight dances gently along stone walls, and as echoes of ancient songs carry the wisdom of solitude and reflection into your dreaming mind. Let the desert cradle you, safe and serene as you drift into peaceful sleep. Deep within the earth, sacred women sense the pulse of the planet. We learn how to connect with the natural world, listening to its rhythms and flowing with its quiet strength. The night above is quiet, but below the surface, the world hums softly. You float gently across a landscape where moonlight drapes over hills and valleys, highlighting the gentle curves of the earth. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of moss and stone. Beneath your feet, the ground seems to breathe subtle and deep, as though every root and rock holds a heartbeat, a pulse waiting to be felt. A narrow path leads you to a hidden cave entrance, framed by twisting roots and shaded cliffs. You drift closer, noticing the soft glimmer of minerals in the stone, catching the pale moonlight in quiet sparkle. The air carries a gentle warmth, earthy and reassuring, like the embrace of the planet itself. Each step you take is slow, deliberate, and without rush. The cave invites calm, offering a space where time moves softly, like water across smooth stones. Inside, the walls glisten with veins of quartz and silver, like gentle threads of light woven into the dark. Sacred women move through the space, barefoot, their movements flowing like water through a hidden stream. Their robes are simple, pale as morning mist, shifting softly with each breath and gesture. They carry no loud instruments, only the quiet resonance of their voices and the subtle tap of stones or hands upon the earth. You notice how they pause beside cracks in the floor, placing hands lightly against stone. Their eyes close, and they seem to listen, to the faint rhythm of the world, to the deep, slow currents that run beneath. The earth hums beneath their palms, a quiet song of endurance and patience. You float beside them, feeling the subtle vibration travel through the soles of your feet and into your chest. Each pulse is slow, steady, like the calm breath of the planet itself. A stream of underground water trickles along a channel carved long ago. The women kneel beside it, letting fingers trace the movement of the cool liquid, listening to its gentle gurgle. The sound is soft, layered, like whispers from another time. The water carries memories of the surface, the rain, the rivers, the distant forests, and the women know how to follow its current without disturbance, letting the rhythms teach them patience, presence, and quiet understanding. The cave opens into a wider chamber, where soft light filters down from tiny cracks above, illuminating veins of crystal in the walls. Dust motes float lazily in the beams, suspended like tiny stars. Here, the women chant, slowly and evenly, their voices rising and falling in harmony with the subtle heartbeat of the earth. The chant is not hurried or demanding. It is a gentle hum that echoes softly across stone, water, and mineral. You feel it wrap around your spirit, coaxing calm, patience, and the awareness of the deep, hidden rhythms that sustain all life. A woman kneels by a small, polished pool of water within the chamber. Her fingers touch the surface lightly, sending ripples outward. Each ripple seems to connect with hidden veins in the rock, reaching into the stillness beneath. The water reflects the dim light, showing the subtle glow of minerals and the soft shimmer of her robes. You drift closer, letting your senses absorb the quiet, deliberate harmony of her actions. Even the smallest gesture carries a lesson, the power of attention, of presence, of gentle awareness. You notice the women place small stones in circular patterns, following the natural flow of the cave and the subtle pulse of the earth. The circles are imperfect, yet perfect in their intention. Each stone rests where it is guided by the subtle rhythm beneath the floor. You understand that the earth moves slowly, deliberately, and that those who listen can follow its guidance with respect and patience. No rush disturbs these chambers, only the quiet movement of life beneath and the steady breath of the cave itself. The women pause together at a deep fissure in the rock. Their hands hover above the opening, sensing the pulse that runs through stone and soil. The vibration is low, almost imperceptible, yet it carries a calm certainty. It is the rhythm of endurance, of patient strength, and of life that continues unseen. You feel it travel through the air and into yourself, a steadying hum that settles thoughts, eases tension, and anchors the spirit. Softly, the women begin to chant again, this time with a subtle rhythm that mirrors the pulse of the fissure. The sound is low and resonant, vibrating through stone and air. You notice your breathing slow to match, each inhale and exhale moving in tandem with the gentle rhythm beneath. The cave seems alive with quiet movement, each vibration a small instruction in patience, each echo a lesson in stillness. A small fire burns in a shallow pit surrounded by stones. Its light flickers gently against the walls, casting shadows that dance and sway. The women sit around it, hands resting lightly on knees or stone. Their voices soften further, singing songs that carry the memory of the earth, the flow of water and the slow turn of seasons above. The fire's warmth is gentle, complementing the cool, steady pulse beneath your feet. You feel its calm energy reach you, soothing and nurturing, a reminder that light and warmth can coexist with stillness and reflection. The veins of the earth run everywhere, beneath your feet and beneath the chambers, beneath rivers, forests, and deserts. The women sense this movement, letting it guide their gestures, their chants, and their stillness. You float above, sensing the quiet power of connection, of listening to rhythms larger than thought, of feeling the strength of the natural world without needing to control it. Each pulse is a whisper. Slow down, listen, breathe, follow. Softly, one woman lifts a crystal from the ground. Its surface is cool and smooth. She places it in the center of a small stone circle, letting its presence join the subtle currents beneath the cave. Light touches it faintly, and the crystal seems to glow from within. You sense that every small object, every gesture, every breath contributes to the harmony of this hidden world. There is no hurry here. Everything flows according to the quiet laws of the earth. The women rise, moving gracefully through the chamber, hands brushing the walls and the crystals. Their voices fade into a gentle hum, blending with the sound of water trickling, stones settling, and the slow pulse beneath. You feel yourself carried along with the movement, each step a slow dance with patience, each breath a soft echo of the pulse beneath the ground. Even the still air seems to hold wisdom, each molecule vibrating with calm energy. A subtle breeze enters through a crack above, brushing softly across the chamber. Dust and tiny motes shimmer in its path, like starlight caught in slow motion. The women pause to feel it, letting it carry their presence and intention throughout the cave. You follow, letting the gentle wind brush your face and shoulders, lifting away tension and guiding thought into quiet, receptive spaces. The cave seems infinite and yet intimate, holding all the wisdom of the earth in soft, flowing veins that you can trace gently with awareness. Now, as the women kneel once more by the polished pool, you notice your own reflection there, calm and still. The surface ripples slightly as if breathing along with you and the pulse beneath. You feel the connection deeply. Your spirit flows with the veins of the earth, and the earth's quiet rhythm flows into you. There is no need for hurry, no need for expectation, only presence, only awareness, only the gentle unfolding of each moment. Let us drift onward, following the steady heartbeat beneath the ground, the slow trickle of water, the soft hum of chant, and the quiet warmth of candlelight. Let the veins of the earth carry you, wrapping your spirit in patience, grounding your thoughts, and nurturing the calm that lives in quiet presence. Now rest. As the cave holds the soft light, as the pulse beneath the stone continues undisturbed, as the wind carries gentle echoes across the hidden chambers, let the sacred women guide your spirit through the hidden veins of the earth, bringing you into calm reflection, quiet strength, and the gentle flow of stillness. The natural world embraces you, slow and tender, as you drift softly into sleep. Soft lanterns float into the sky, each carrying a lesson from the past. Women of ancient cults teach the spirit to honor memory without clinging, letting light drift freely through the heart. The twilight sky deepens, turning from pale lilac to the soft velvet of night. Stars begin to gather, shyly at first, then with gentle confidence, like distant lanterns winking across the dark expanse. You drift along a narrow, quiet path lined with flowering shrubs, their petals soft as whispered secrets. The air is calm, carrying a faint scent of jasmine and warm earth, and a slow, comforting breeze brushes across your cheeks. Ahead, a group of women moves gracefully along the path. Their robes are light and flowing, pale as dawn mist, and each carries a small lantern, delicate and glowing. The lanterns shine like captured fragments of moonlight, each one humming softly with a quiet energy. You float closer, noticing the serene calm in their faces, the gentle sway of their steps, and the way their eyes reflect the soft glow of the lanterns they hold. The first lantern rises gently from a woman's hands, drifting slowly upward. It moves as though guided by invisible threads, bobbing slightly in the night air. The glow reveals the intricate carvings on the lantern, symbols of ancient teachings and the soft lessons it carries. Each lantern is unique, holding a memory, a story, a moment to honor. As it ascends, you feel the gentle urging of release. The memory is honored but not clung to, allowed to drift freely into the vast sky. The women chant softly, their voices like a slow stream weaving through the night. The chant is low and rhythmic, guiding the lanterns upward and carrying the intention of remembrance without attachment. You feel the sound wrap around you, each note a slow exhale, each hum a gentle brush against your awareness. The memory within each lantern does not weigh upon you. Instead, it glows and floats, illuminating the sky like a quiet constellation of experience. One woman kneels beside a small pool, her lantern resting on the water. The reflection shimmers, capturing both lantern and sky in its surface. She dips her fingers lightly into the water, sending ripples across the mirrored surface. The ripples carry the lantern's light outward, touching the edges of the pool, the stones surrounding it, and the soft moss beneath. You feel the ripples move through you as well, gentle and wide, softening thought and quieting the mind. A breeze drifts through the grove, lifting lanterns from their holders one by one. Each lantern glides upward, spinning slowly as it ascends, releasing the memory it carries into the night. You watch the lights move effortlessly, like floating stars. You notice that even as memories are released, the lesson within them remains, a quiet warmth in the heart, a gentle glow that lingers without grasping. The women move among the lanterns with ease, their hands guiding some, letting others rise naturally. They hum and chant, soft and slow, attuned to each lantern's journey. You drift among them, breathing in the serene calm, the soft warmth, and the gentle understanding that memories are neither to be hidden nor clung to, but acknowledged and allowed to light the way. A particularly large lantern hovers just above your head. Its glow is soft and golden, warm as sunlit honey. You feel drawn to it, noticing the delicate inscriptions along its frame, small symbols of lessons learned, experiences honored, gratitude for the past. A woman steps beside it and touches your shoulder lightly, guiding your awareness to the lantern. You feel the lesson, subtle and quiet, moving through you without effort. It is not heavy. It is not binding. It floats freely, and so does your spirit. The sky is now dotted with hundreds of lanterns, each one carrying a fragment of memory, a whisper of the past, a lesson learned and honored. You drift through them, floating among the gentle lights, letting their presence soften your thoughts. Each lantern glows in a slightly different hue, some pale and silvery, some golden, some tinged with soft pink or lavender. Together they form a slow, moving tapestry of remembrance and illumination. A soft drum begins in the distance, almost imperceptible at first, then steady. It is slow and calm, like the heartbeat of the night. The women's chant follows the drum, a careful weave of sound that lifts memory and lesson alike into the sky. You notice your own breath following the rhythm, slow, measured, as though inhaling the calm and exhaling the weight of clinging. One woman gathers several small lanterns and places them in a circle on the ground. Each lantern contains a different memory, a smile, a lesson in kindness, a moment of courage, a whisper of sorrow that has passed. She bows lightly, then lifts her hands and the lanterns respond, floating upward as if called by the quiet rhythm of the earth and sky. You watch as each memory ascends, releasing its weight and lighting a path among the stars. The lanterns move higher now, floating in a slow, silent procession. You feel a deep sense of release, a letting go that is neither sad nor hurried. The lessons remain, carried gently in the heart, while the past itself drifts lightly, mingling with starlight and night air. You notice that your spirit feels lighter, freer, yet held by a soft, enduring glow that comes from honoring without holding. The women begin to hum a softer tune, the melody curling through the night like a slow stream of light. Their hands move in gentle arcs, guiding unseen currents, lifting forgotten fragments, allowing gentle memories to rise and mingle with the sky. You float beside them, carried along by the gentle rhythm, feeling the quiet joy of remembering and releasing, honoring and letting go. In a small clearing, a larger lantern is placed upon the ground. It is carved with intricate patterns, the soft glow reflecting delicate shapes onto the surrounding trees. The woman beside it closes her eyes, hands hovering over the light. Slowly, she lifts her palms, and the lantern rises with a quiet hum. It floats toward the highest point in the sky, carrying lessons of patience, generosity, and kindness. You feel their presence settle softly in your heart, a gentle warmth that does not bind, a quiet glow that remains as the lantern drifts freely. The night deepens, and more lanterns rise until the sky is filled with soft moving points of light. Each one holds a memory, a fragment of wisdom, a gentle story from the past. You drift among them, feeling the calm understanding that memory is a gift, not a burden. Every lesson, every whisper, every small moment is honored, yet none cling. Each floats, carrying light, warmth, and gentle truth into the vast expanse. A soft wind lifts the lanterns higher, and you notice that the sky seems to hold them as easily as a calm sea holds floating petals. The women's voices grow even softer, blending with the breeze and the hum of the lanterns themselves. You sense that every memory, every small act of remembrance is part of a larger tapestry, a slow-moving river of light and calm that connects earth, sky, and heart. You watch a lantern shaped like a small cup, carrying lessons of gratitude and gentle giving. It rises quietly, and the light within it seems to expand, illuminating the space around it. You feel its warmth reach you, soft as a sigh, reminding you that even the smallest lessons can ripple outward, touching others in ways unseen. The lantern moves higher, blending with the soft constellation of memory, leaving you with a calm awareness of the beauty of letting go while holding the lesson in your heart. The women kneel once more beside the final lanterns, their hands touching the soft glow, their voices humming slowly. You feel the gentle pull of sleep, carried on the calm movement of light and memory. Each lantern drifts upward, each light expands softly, and the lessons of the past settle into quiet, enduring calm within you. Let us drift onward, following the lanterns as they rise, carrying gentle wisdom, honoring memory without clinging, and letting light fill the heart. Let the women guide your spirit through this slow, serene procession, each lantern a soft exhale, each memory a warm breath released into the night sky. Now rest, as the lanterns float into the endless sky, as the women's soft voices fade into gentle silence, as the lessons of the past settle calmly within. Let your spirit follow the drifting light, carrying the warmth of memory, the freedom of release, and the quiet, enduring glow of presence. Sleep, knowing that the past has been honored, and your heart is free to float among the soft, eternal stars. Melodies move like gentle streams through temples and forests. In this chapter, we feel the healing power of sound and how sacred women use song to calm, restore, and connect. Twilight drifts softly across the land, painting the sky in tender shades of lavender and gold. The air is warm, still, yet alive with the faint rustle of leaves and the soft murmur of distant streams. You find yourself walking along a narrow path lined with mossy stones, each step cushioned by the soft, springy earth. The scent of damp earth and wildflowers rises gently, a quiet perfume that eases the mind. Ahead, a temple appears, small and simple, its walls made of smooth, pale stone. The doorway glows with the light of candles flickering inside. From within, soft melodies drift outward, carried by the evening breeze. The music is slow, almost imperceptible at first, yet each note seems to reach deep within, brushing gently against the corners of thought and memory. You float closer, letting the sound guide you. Inside the temple, women sit in circles, their robes flowing and pale like water. Some hold small instruments, delicate flutes and soft, rounded drums. Others sing, voices low and resonant, weaving together like rivers converging in a quiet stream. Each note carries warmth, a subtle vibration that hums in the bones, softening tension and easing the mind into stillness. You move among them, floating lightly on the air, listening to the gentle currents of song. The flutes speak in silver tones, like moonlight on water, while the drums beat slowly, steady and comforting, like a heartbeat of the earth. The voices rise and fall, a slow tide that washes over the spirit, carrying away the weight of thought. Each melody is a small current, guiding you gently along the river of sound. A woman leans over a small bowl of water, her fingers lightly touching the surface. As she hums, ripples form, moving outward in slow circles. The sound seems to travel along the ripples, following them across the water, across the floor, across your awareness. You notice the soft vibration in your chest, in your hands, in the tips of your toes. The song is not just heard, it is felt, a river moving through every part of you. Outside, the forest is quiet, except for the gentle stream nearby. Water trickles over smooth stones, echoing the melodies inside. You sense the song moving through the trees, flowing through branches and leaves, threading into the roots beneath. Each note becomes part of the landscape, as natural and essential as the rustle of the wind or the murmur of water. A larger melody begins, soft and rolling, carried by several voices in harmony. The sound flows like a slow river, widening and deepening as it moves. You drift beside it, letting it carry you gently, noticing how it softens the spaces within. Spaces of worry, spaces of restlessness, spaces that long for gentle connection. The song does not ask anything of you. It simply flows, and you flow with it. One of the women stands, holding a long, narrow flute. She lifts it to her lips and breathes slowly, sending a silver thread of sound through the air. The other voices join her, weaving around the flute, rising and falling in a slow, deliberate rhythm. The sound is soft but strong, like a stream winding through stones. You feel the melody ripple through the temple, spilling out into the forest, into the night air. The drums begin a slow, pulsing rhythm, steady and unwavering. Each beat is like a quiet heartbeat beneath the earth, beneath the floor, beneath the soles of your feet. You notice your own heartbeat aligning with the rhythm, slowing, softening, becoming a quiet companion to the music. Each pulse is a reminder of presence, of the gentle flow of life through the body and spirit. Outside the temple, small lanterns hang from branches, glowing softly in the dim light. The wind stirs them, and they sway gently as the music reaches the trees. You drift among the lanterns, feeling their light mingling with the song, each flicker carrying a note, a hum, a ripple. The melodies seem to fold into the light, softening edges connecting sky, earth, and heart. A woman moves to a stone basin, her hands cupping the water. She hums a single note, long and pure. The water responds, rippling and vibrating in resonance with her voice. You watch as the ripples spread, carrying the sound outward, touching the stones, the trees, the leaves. You feel the song move through you as well, a gentle current flowing through every thought, every muscle, every breath. The flutes begin again, higher now, light and airy, threading like silver ribbons through the deeper melody of voices and drums. The combination is a river of sound, layered, flowing, ever-moving, yet calm. You notice your own thoughts settling, each one carried gently downstream, past stones and reeds, past quiet pools, to rest softly among the soft echoes of the music. A soft breeze rises, carrying the sound out into the forest. The trees bend slightly, leaves quivering in time with the rhythm. You float alongside, feeling the wind in your hair, the gentle tug of air as if the song itself is leading you. Each note touches a hidden part of your awareness, soothing tension, releasing unease, making space for calm and stillness. A circle forms in the center of the temple, the women standing and joining hands. Their voices rise together, soft and sustained. The sound seems to form a slow spiral, moving upward and outward, carrying the essence of the song into the night sky. You follow the spiral, feeling it expand gently, filling the space with warmth and peace. A river of song flowing endlessly, touching everything it passes. The melody slows now, each note lingering, folding upon itself like gentle waves. The drums quiet to soft taps. The flutes fade to long lingering tones, and the voices grow softer, like distant echoes. You feel a deep sense of calm, a quietness that is neither empty nor restless. It is a fullness of being, a presence in the gentle flow of sound and spirit. A woman kneels at the edge of the river nearby, her hands resting lightly on the water. She hums a final note, low and steady. The river responds, rippling softly, carrying the vibration downstream. You feel the same current in yourself, a gentle resonance that lingers long after the sound has faded. Each ripple is a reminder of the connection between sound, earth, water, and spirit. A quiet, steady river flowing through everything. The women sit once more, hands folded, eyes closed, and the temple grows still. You drift among them, floating on the last traces of melody, feeling the gentle wash of sound settle within. The forest around you is quiet now, yet the music remains, like a memory of a river, like the soft echo of water over stones. Each note continues in your chest, in your hands, in your breath. Soft and comforting, let us drift onward, carried by the lingering flow of song, following its gentle current through temple and forest, water and wind. Let the melodies ripple through your awareness, calming, restoring, and connecting, carrying the quiet power of sound into the deepest corners of the spirit. Now rest. As the rivers of song flow endlessly, softly through the night, through every leaf and stone, every whisper of wind, and every pulse of your heart, sleep as the melodies fold into quiet, and the women's voices fade into soft echoes, leaving only the gentle, enduring calm of music that moves like water, flowing without end. Silence is a sacred teacher. Here, women form circles of quiet, teaching how stillness can be a bridge to inner peace, where the mind slows and the soul breathes deeply. Twilight settles softly over the land, painting the horizon in gentle hues of rose and silver. The air is warm, scented with the subtle perfume of pine and earth. A quiet path winds between trees whose leaves sway in a gentle, slow rhythm, as if breathing alongside the wind. You float along this path, each step cushioned by soft moss, feeling the weight of the world lift, settling into the calm around you. Ahead, a circle of women appears in a small clearing. They are dressed in robes of muted earth tones, flowing lightly over their forms. Their heads are bowed, hands resting lightly on their knees. Between them, the grass glows faintly, kissed by the last of the evening light. There is no sound, yet the silence is alive. It hums softly, like the space just before the first note of a distant song. You move closer, feeling the quiet settle around you. Each breath you take echoes gently in your own chest, yet the echo is soft, nurturing, as if the very air is holding you. You notice how the mind slows, how thoughts begin to drift like clouds across a gentle sky. The women's presence is calm, steady, a subtle rhythm that guides without movement or sound. A small lantern rests at the center of the circle, its flame flickering without a whisper of noise. Its light dances on the faces of the women, softening features, rounding edges, deepening shadows in a way that feels protective, like the arms of the earth cradling all that rests within. The flame moves as though breathing, small and steady, a heartbeat in the quiet. One of the women shifts slightly, her movement deliberate, almost imperceptible. She closes her eyes more fully, resting her hands in her lap. The circle remains unbroken, yet there is an energy that flows between them, a current of understanding, a language without words. You sense that the silence itself is teaching. Every pause, every still breath, every calm gaze forms a gentle instruction. You sit among them, or perhaps you drift above, floating in the soft space between trees and sky. The silence is not empty. It hums like water pooling in a still pond, reflecting light and shadow equally. You notice each inhalation and exhalation, feeling your own body echo the rhythm of the quiet. There is no hurry, no thought pressing forward, only the slow unfolding of presence. The leaves above shiver softly in the wind, a sound so faint it feels like a secret whispered just for you. Tiny insects hum in the background, their sound blending seamlessly with the quiet. Every detail becomes vivid, yet there is no rush to notice. Each element folds gently into the next, like soft waves lapping at the shore. You feel the space between notes, the pause between breaths, expanding, creating a sanctuary inside and outside at once. A woman reaches toward the lantern, her fingers brushing the flame without touching it. The movement is soft, measured, sacred in its simplicity. She returns her hands to her lap and the flame continues to breathe. The act seems to say, even the smallest gesture holds meaning when embraced fully. The silence carries it, and you feel it sink deep, teaching without voice, guiding without force. Time becomes fluid. Minutes, perhaps hours, fold into each other. The circle remains calm, unbroken, each presence anchoring the other. You feel yourself drifting within the rhythm of stillness, your thoughts settling like fine sand into the bottom of a slow-moving river. Each inhale and exhale deepens the quiet, deepens the space in which you float. Above the circle, the first stars appear, tiny points of light in a sky of soft indigo. The silence stretches upward, embracing the heavens, connecting the earth below to the vast, quiet expanse above. You feel the slow pulse of the universe, subtle and steady, like a song too soft to be heard with ears, yet undeniable to the heart. The women in the circle shift slightly, leaning back, closing their eyes more fully. Their faces are serene, as if reflecting the calm of water untouched by wind. You sense that the silence here is not simply absence. It is presence, a living companion, a river of calm flowing through every corner of awareness. A small breeze moves through the clearing, rustling the grass, lifting a few loose petals from nearby flowers. The movement is quiet, delicate, a subtle reminder that even in stillness, life continues, flowing in invisible currents. You float alongside the breeze, feeling the harmony between motion and quiet, learning how neither contradicts the other. You notice a stone nearby, smooth and cool. Its surface reflects the lantern's light, but no shadows move across it. It seems to absorb the calm around it, holding stillness like a small reservoir. The circle mirrors this, each woman a vessel of quiet, each breath a ripple in the vast unspoken ocean of silence. The air feels soft, almost tangible. You sense the weight of the world slipping from your shoulders, each worry dissolving like mist in morning sun. The silence absorbs everything unnecessary, leaving only what is true, only what is steady. Your heart slows, your mind softens. Your spirit feels gently buoyed by the quiet river flowing around and within you. A single woman rises slowly, her motion deliberate and sacred. She moves to the edge of the circle and kneels, palms on the earth. She rests there, still listening. The silence stretches from her to the trees, to the sky, to you. It folds and unfolds like a living thing, showing that stillness is not empty. It is a bridge to everything, to the unseen rhythms of the world, to the quiet pulse of spirit around you. The circle shifts as one, a subtle, graceful motion that keeps the rhythm alive without a sound. You sense the flow of energy, a river of calm moving from heart to heart, connecting each presence. It is a gentle lesson. The power of silence lies not in holding back, but in opening fully, letting space breathe, letting the mind soften, letting the spirit rest. Above, the stars grow brighter, each one a quiet witness to the scene below. The lanterns in the clearing mirror them, glowing softly, steady in the darkness. The circle remains, timeless and patient. You feel a sense of belonging, not through words, not through action, but through shared stillness. The quiet itself is a teacher, a guide, a companion for the soul. The night deepens, cool and tender. You notice the rhythm of your own breath, the gentle rise and fall of the chest, the soft beat of the heart. Each breath is a note in the song of silence, each moment an echo of calm. You sense the subtle connections between the temple, the circle, the lanterns, the trees, and yourself. Everything is linked through the quiet, flowing gently, endlessly. The women in the circle bow their heads, settling more fully into the earth beneath them. Their eyes close. The world outside grows dimmer, softer. You feel yourself floating, weightless, cradled in the gentle rhythm of stillness. The silence teaches patience, deep listening, gentle presence. You realize that the space between thoughts, the pause between breaths, is itself sacred, a place where the soul can rest and renew. A soft wind lifts again, rustling leaves lightly and carries the faint scent of earth and flowers. It is a whisper, delicate, encouraging. The silence absorbs it fully, letting it pass, leaving only calm. You feel the quiet river of the circle extend outward, beyond the clearing, beyond the trees, into the night sky, carrying with it a profound sense of peace. Time becomes even more fluid now. You drift among shadows and lantern light, each step, each breath, each heartbeat perfectly attuned to the quiet. The women in the circle remain, steadfast, each a silent guide. Their presence, combined with the stillness, becomes a living map, showing the path to inner peace, where the mind slows and the spirit breathes freely. Let us drift onward, carried gently by the quiet. Let the circle of silence teach its lesson through every pause, every gentle motion, every soft breath. Let the mind soften, the heart expand, and the soul feel held in the tender rhythm of stillness. Now rest, as the lanterns flicker softly, as the stars above gaze calmly, as the women remain in quiet circles. Let the silence flow through you like a river, moving slowly, steadily, carrying peace, calm, and gentle guidance into every corner of being. Sleep as the sacred quiet folds around you, steady, enduring, and endlessly comforting. As night fades, a gentle dawn rises. The teachings of divine women linger in the soft light, reminding us that every day carries sacred guidance and that peace is always within reach. The darkness softens. The stars fade slowly like whispers retreating into a distant sky. You float through the quiet of the early morning, where the air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of dew and earth. The horizon glows faintly, a pale ribbon of pink and gold. The world seems to breathe gently, as if waking slowly from a long, restful dream. In the distance, a temple rises from the mist, its stones touched by the first light. Its towers and arches are softened by the lingering night, shadows curling around them like a tender embrace. The air hums with a quiet energy, neither hurried nor insistent, simply a gentle reminder of presence. You drift closer, feeling each step soften beneath your feet, as if the earth itself is cushioning your passage. Around the temple, trees and grasses sway lightly in a calm morning wind. The leaves shimmer with dew, tiny prisms reflecting the nascent light. There is a sound here, soft and distant, like a stream moving beneath moss or the slow beating of a heart in tune with the earth. It is a sound that asks nothing yet offers everything. peace, grounding, and the gentle pull of awareness. Within the temple courtyard, figures move slowly. Women in flowing robes walk among the columns, their gestures measured and deliberate. Their hands brush softly across stone and plant, leaving no mark but a subtle echo in the air. Their faces are serene, their eyes reflecting the light as if it were a mirror for inner calm. Each movement carries the quiet teachings of patience, of observing without grasping, of presence without effort. You float among them, neither observer nor participant, but a part of the rhythm of dawn. The world feels tender here, shaped not by noise or urgency, but by the slow unfolding of awareness. A single bird rises from the garden, its wings cutting a soft arc through the air. Its song is delicate, almost forgotten by the world, yet it resonates deeply in the chest, a reminder that even small notes hold meaning. A woman pauses by a shallow pool. The water reflects the sky, the mist, and the temple's arches. She dips her hands into the cool liquid, letting it ripple softly. Each wave moves outward, touching unseen corners of the courtyard, touching you as you drift nearby. She lifts her hand slowly, letting the droplets fall back into the water, and each droplet seems to carry a quiet blessing. The promise of patience, the ease of letting go, the gentle rhythm of a new day. The air shimmers with warmth now, the sun's light spreading like soft silk across the stones. Shadows retreat slowly, elongating and blending, until every surface seems to hold both light and shade in gentle balance. You notice how even the smallest objects, a fallen leaf, a pebble, a blade of grass, carry a reflection of this calm, a soft echo of the teachings that dwell here. A faint sound reaches your ears, barely more than a sigh, the rhythmic tapping of a distant drum. It moves steadily, quietly like a heartbeat. The women gather around it, circling slowly. Their hands rise and fall in time with the rhythm, yet there is no urgency, no demand. It is a rhythm of awareness, a rhythm that flows with the day rather than against it. You feel it in your own chest, the gentle rise and fall of life made visible in each beat. One woman approaches the edge of the courtyard, kneeling on the stone floor. She closes her eyes and breathes deeply, her posture open and relaxed. The sunlight warms her face, touching her cheeks like soft petals. You sense her presence as both gentle guidance and reflection, a reminder that each dawn carries the possibility of peace. Even the smallest movement here feels significant, yet weightless, like a feather drifting on the morning air. The garden beyond the temple blooms in soft colors. Flowers nod under the caress of the wind, dew glinting like tiny lanterns. Each petal seems to hold a story, a small memory of night past, of moonlight lingering, of quiet moments that went unnoticed yet shaped the world subtly. You drift past, noticing each hue, each curve, each softness. You feel the same care, the same tenderness, spreading from the garden into your own mind, into your own breath. Above, the sky deepens into soft pastels, and a single cloud drifts slowly across the horizon. It is light and weightless, moving with no hurry, no resistance. You realize the dawn itself is a teacher here, showing that even beginnings can be gentle, that movement need not be forceful, that each day unfolds at its own pace. The women in the courtyard mirror this teaching, silent guides in the ritual of presence. A gentle fountain murmurs in the corner, water spilling into a stone basin. The sound is delicate, almost imperceptible, yet it draws attention to the small details. The shimmer of light on water, the ripple of a leaf floating above, the cool shadow beneath the fountain's edge. You float closer, letting each soft sound fill your awareness. The fountain does not rush, it does not demand. It simply flows, a reminder that even in stillness, life continues, quietly and faithfully. The women begin to chant softly, voices blending with the rustle of leaves, the distant drum, the whispering fountain. Their tone is low and gentle, rising and falling like the tide. You feel it as vibration more than sound, a current of calm moving through your chest, through your arms, through your mind. Each note carries patience, each pause carries reflection, each breath carries renewal. A single woman lifts her hands to the sky, palms open. The light touches her fingers first, then her face, then her shoulders. Her eyes remain closed, yet you sense she sees everything. The flow of air, the shimmer of dew, the curve of petals. Her presence teaches that awareness need not be loud, that attention can be still, that witnessing can be an act of peace. You notice your own body shifting, unconsciously, falling in tune with the slow rhythm of dawn. Your shoulders loosen, your spine stretches gently, your chest rises and falls with a quiet steadiness. You feel anchored and free at once, carried by the gentle pulse of morning, by the soft lessons that linger like dew upon your heart. The drum slows, the chanting softens. The wind carries petals across the courtyard, and they settle lightly on stone and grass. Each petal is a note in the song of the dawn, each pause a space for reflection. The women bow their heads, letting the moment linger without hurry, letting the stillness expand into every corner of the temple and your mind. The sunlight grows warmer now, spreading over the arches, spilling across the moss and stone, and touching the lanterns in the courtyard. Their light is small but steady, echoing the calm of the women, the flow of water, the gentle beat of drum and heart. You feel this light within you as well, a warmth that does not burn, a guidance that does not demand, a reminder that peace is always near, always accessible. A soft breeze lifts once more, brushing your skin, teasing loose strands of hair, carrying the faint scent of blossoms and earth. The moment feels suspended, yet full of subtle motion. You notice how the dawn teaches patience. It is neither rushed nor delayed. It simply unfolds, carrying the lessons of night into the light of day. The women begin to walk slowly through the courtyard, their steps measured, deliberate, yet flowing with ease. They touch stone and leaf, water and lantern, and each touch seems to carry a silent blessing. You float alongside them, your awareness opening to each small miracle of morning. The shimmer of dew, the curve of a petal, the warmth of sunlight, the gentle rhythm of breath. The drum ceases, the chanting fades, only the soft sounds of morning remain, the whisper of leaves, the movement of water, the distant song of birds. The circle of women forms once more around the central lantern, bowing their heads in quiet reflection. You feel the same calm echoing within, a soft current of guidance that is gentle, steady, and enduring. Let us drift onward now, into the light, into the warmth, into the unfolding day. Let the teachings of the divine women linger in each breath, each gesture, each thought that floats softly in your mind. Let the dawn remind you that peace is never far, that calm is always within reach, that each day carries gentle guidance waiting to be noticed. Now rest, as the sunlight spreads, as the petals settle, as the wind moves softly through leaves. Breathe in the calm, breathe out the weight of night. Let your mind float in the tender rhythm of morning. Let your spirit awaken gently, carrying the soft lessons of night and dawn alike. And in this quiet unfolding, let the heart remember, every day, every breath, every small moment carries the sacred whisper of peace. You are cradled by it, you are guided by it, and you can move softly through the world, carrying its gentle light wherever you go.